big pick for that jungle on Weibo. So as Orianna gets taken away from Xiaohu, I'm also thinking about things like the Azir that he's been great on. The Tristana's also hovered around. Xiaohu, a great engage tool for Weibo. I think something you can't discount.
So Royal never gave up.
How they move forward things. Taliyah, of course, still up and available. The Rel gonna actually be banned away from contract, something that he did play a lot of during the LCS playoffs. You could argue big comfort pick for him. NRG, how will they round things out? What do they fear the most? All top laners are pretty much up and available. We've seen a lot of Jace throughout the day still. I know some fans of the Shy would love to see him back on the Jace.
They would. But another thing open is Cassante, by the way. He's loved this. He's been spamming it non-stop. So it could be an early pick option considering Weibo on blue side. Might just want to lock that one in. Various other options, maybe bottom lane for Light, who's been focused as well.
There's the Poppy.
Never mind, it's just Poppy straight out of the bat.
Of course, they can still flex this, right? They can flex it into top lane and jungle. There is the rarity of it going into support.
For the pick'ems. For the pick'ems.
For the pick'ems. Let's see how NRG respond. They could just grab themselves the Kai'Sa for FBI if they want to. Something that he's very experienced on, something very comfortable. It's proven to be a very strong champion on the current meta. But do they want to prioritize that AD carry? No, instead it will be Alistar. 3 games in a row now we've seen that Alistar be super prioritized, typically from the LCK teams, but Ignar saying, nope, I want engaged support. I always associate him with Rakan, but maybe into the Poppy, he's not as excited about that prospect.
Maybe not. I mean, today, again, it's just been coming out left, right, and center as a priority pick. NRG options in the bottom side. Didn't think Kai'Sa last game, but we're going to miss it for a little bit longer as the potential flex here for the Taliyah gets locked in for NRG.
Definitely a potential flex. Glad you brought that up because Palafox, no stranger to the Taliyah in the mid lane. More than happy to play that. And so both sides holding their cards close to their chest. But will it be the rumble for the Shy?
I bet you it will be. This guy's been playing it non-stop. I mean, Weibo, again, with such a volatile top laner, he just goes, you know what? I'm going to pick Rumble blind.
He's going to blind it.
Instead of the Cassante.
I mean, he's testing Dokla here. He's saying, what have you got? You know, he is so confident in his Rumble. Look at the damage that Weibo have for themselves right now. Potential poke, depending on the build that Kai'Sa wants to go.
Yep.
Potential dive, depending on the build that Kai'Sa wants to go. A lot of options still here for Weibo, and NRG looking to answer with some aggression of their own.
Okay, about the 2v2 here. I mean, FBI has been one of the top tier NA 80 carries. And especially with the transition into this roster that used to be CLG, it's nice to see them putting presence on him. When Weibo historically have been about the mid lane. Talk more about that in game, but Vedius, I want to get into that brain of yours, if that's okay. If you'll let me.
Yeah.
What are we looking at now? What's the priority? No support right now for Weibo unless that becomes a flex.
Well, I mean, you praise my brain, but look at you predicting immediately the support bands coming out from the side of NRG. Weibo, they're likely going to be pinching some top laners. They may very well look to ban the Jace themselves.
Okay.
Something that we saw a lot from Dokla was things like the Jax in the finals, things like the Renekton as well, something that he's very comfortable on. Typically, I would have expected them to leave the Renekton open because I've seen so many Rumbles just dominate in that 1v1 matchup. And if the Shy is feeling confident, I don't see why they wouldn't, but I guess they're not taking the risk. So they'll choose to leave that up. The question is, will NRG look to just ban away another support? They could look to get rid of the Rakan themselves. Maybe they'd be concerned about something like a Braum. We haven't really seen any Braum so far at this tournament, so I'd be surprised if they did choose to ban it away. Blitzcrank taken away from Crisp.
It's so funny because Crisp has been memed about in this last split in regionals. Hasn't been the best on Hook champions recently, even though historically fans of FPX, the 2019 champions, remember this guy's Thresh, this guy's Nautilus were insane. So at least the respect's given over by NRG, but still, we'll see where Crisp goes. Things like Rakan are still up and available. Cassante also taken away. Okay. I guess another surprise when you consider that Rumble has been fine into the matchup historically.
So, will Dokla look to pick something like the Jace? And where is this Taliyah going to go? Will it be put into the mid lane? Are they going to keep it in the jungle? What direction are they thinking about here? Of course, they do have a lot of options.
You said it.
It's being hovered. And they're going to lock it in. All right, so Dokla going to be going for what I would say is a favorable lane for the Jace. but you are going into the Shy's Rumble.
Yep.
A man who is incredibly confident on that pick, has a very long history on it, and it's going to be no easy feat to come out on top.
I mean, this guy doesn't hard win the lane, but out CS's, outclasses a lot of the time. Someone you can't doubt. As this is a classic for Chris. I mean, if we're talking away from Hook champions, engage here with, I said it before, Xiaohu on Azir has been exceptional. A real engage tool, more so than I feel like any other Azir in the world. And that just rounds out Weibo to a T.
I was going to say, when I look at this Weibo draft, this looks like comfort to me across the board. A lot of champions that a lot of these players are very familiar with. Even when I saw that Alistar, I was thinking to myself, would he just do a Leona here? We've seen him do it before. And it's just so much great engage on the side of Weibo. Great backline access as well. Very powerful team fighting.
Wait.
Are they actually going to put the Jace in mid and then have Ornn go into the Shy's Rumble?
Is that too dangerous, Venus? I need to obviously wait for the final
You
swap.
tell me, man. Is that too dangerous?
What do you think I'm going to say?
I think the answer's yes.
Yeah, I think it is indeed. But hey, Big Dokes, I mean, hearing Kobe's energy on the desk about this man, I can feel it. Might be an LPL caster, but Big Dokes lives in my heart now. And look, for NRG, walk me through a little bit, because I see very volatile lanes. I also see a bit of scaling added into the mix. I feel like there's multiple pairings here that need to be addressed.
Well, there is a little bit of poke on their draft when you always have Talia and Jace.
Okay.
There's going to be a presence of, when setting up around these objectives, there's going to be a lot of effective chip damage, but really they spike really hard on one item. You look across the board, Kalista, Jace, really potent once they get that first item underneath their belt. So you're looking at early dragons, you're looking at trying to skirmish and fight in the early game, and I think that NRG are pretty happy, because when we think about them as a team, they're happy to fight you in the early game. They're happy to go for these skirmishes. It's really just this top lane, how much pressure will be thrown that way.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we're about to get in, it's the first seed of North America. And today, you know, NA have come so close. They've done a lot of damage. Cast your mind back to TL versus T1. That felt close. But can they beat the LPL 4th seed? Weibo have been exceptional in some regard. The fact that they made it here to the World Championship. The fact that they're in this spot, returning the Shy back. But is it too much to ask for? That's the biggest question. Betty, it's got to be intense to get into this one. And surely we're just drawing it out. Because you kind of have to, for this matchup, you expected explosions coming into this.
Yeah, you do. Mainly because the players just aren't afraid to fight. The analyst has said it. If you ever watch any of the games of these teams, it should be fairly obvious. NRG in their finals, I think their problem was that they got overzealous. They couldn't calm down once they got those leads, you know?
Yep.
They sometimes found themselves in fights that they just didn't need to take, and it was easy for Cloud9 to punish them. But Weibo is no stranger to that themselves, right? They're more than happy to take whatever fights they can. Sometimes they take fights that they just shouldn't. And that's why we just expect fighting from both these teams. Of course, your first game, day one, nerves can always be a factor.
True.
But if these teams want to win, they've got to play like they always do, because that's how they got here. We're jumping into the game. Game 6 of the day, Hysterics. NRG versus Weibo.
Absolute pleasure to see the 4th seed in action. But likewise with NRG's debut. Let's see how they go, because I've noticed some real fun stuff about this roster. The level 6 roams from Ignat topside. Dokla appearing bot as a rumble with ulti. Can still do that with Ornn here in this game. And I'm excited to see how this draft works out for NRG. As you said, bit of pace to add in. As ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you a reminder now. Just remember that you can log into your right account on lollysports.com and watch Worlds live to earn exclusive Worlds emotes and icons for the entire event.
There you can. Free stuff. Why wouldn't you?
Do that right now. Go
We'll
on.
do it.
Go on.
Off you go.
You won't. Yeah.
I mean, nothing's happened yet. No one's dead. So you got time.
Were you surprised, eh? Oh, it should have been over by now.
Obviously, you can see the runes on your screen. Conqueror for the Azir, for Xiaohu. We did see the Halo plates coming out from Showmaker earlier, so a bit of a different approach. Phase Rush on the Poppy. Phase Rush on the Jace as well. Nothing too crazy. And already Shy. The Shy.
How dare you?
I'm sorry. The. My bad. In the presence of greatness, as you and someone else I know would say.
It's crazy. Do you think he's outdone Shy? You know, the original Shy? I'd say yes, right? You know, Shy is better than Shy?
I'm old, I'm not that old. You know, that's what I'll say to that. I was around for those games, but I wasn't around to analyze them. So, you know, I'm going to pass on that question.
That's all right.
Now, early jungle pathing. Never mind.
It's an all-in, but the separation from Ignar's great. Light can't do any damage. FBI just takes a heavy trade.
I mean, easy trade for Chris. Is he going to look for it again? Of course
he is. Zenith Blade Ignite down there to cleanse away. Flashes there too. FBI has no summoners at 2 minutes in the game.
Hi there, my name's Callista and I'm an early game champion. And
he's upvoting.
And Crisp says, hi, my name's Crisp and I'm an early game champion. Doesn't matter what he's on, he's going to look for something. Level 2 now secured. Crisp taking a strong presence in the lane.
That's a stance, isn't it?
Keeping my eyes on Weiwei. Is he going to look for a dive here? No summoners on FBI. He's making his way into the river. He's moving into the bot side jungle, knowing that they have the pressure. And he'll find 0 camps to steal away, which could very well mean, hey, you know what? No jungler presence means that we can look for a dive.
Very true indeed. Sees it, information gathered, and this is what made WBG so scary in those regional finals versus EDG. They made plays this early on, and with FBI at half HP, with no summoners as well, Weiwei stacks him against the wall. I'm seeing deja vu! And Weibo bringing first blood at 3 minutes in. Ignar now in trouble as well. Weiwei waiting for those cooldowns. There's the flash matched out. Ignar latched onto. Second skin about to proc. He bops him in. Weiwei might be in trouble, but he shoves him back. And Light gets the kill. A 2-0 start.
Excellent play from Weibo. They were able to force the summoners out from FBI in the straight up 2v2. And then the pathing from Weiwei meant that he could supplement that with 2 early game kills. 1.3k the gold lead, already hysterics. And this bot lane is looking dire for NRG.
I mean, the Shy is zoning off the potential of a trade in Scuttle. Thank you, that's mine. So WBG get both sides of the map. It's now a 1,500 gold lead. This is what we're talking about. The regional power of this team. The ramp up, they've become a quicker team, they've become a more aggressive team, and more successfully aggressive videos. As this dive is the proof.
I mean, there's very little to break down here. Just a clean flash engage. Ignar does everything he can do to keep his AD carry alive. Unfortunately for him, Weiwei alone is enough to find that kill. Perhaps he should have considered flashing earlier, but frankly, I don't think the flash would have achieved anything. Just a nice play from Weiwei to walk away with 2 quick kills. Well played to Weibo. They're off to a fantastic start.
Respect from Ignar there. Like the little bop into the turret. Unfortunate about the cooldown that Weiwei was able to get out, but at least respect due there for trying to turn the play around, as Weiwei is now back in the bottom side, and this is, again, what we saw in regionals to add on. There's a bit of vision left over with Contracts trying to match a 3v3's potential. They're going to turn on for Contracts. Shove doesn't work, but against the wall it does. The bot back in. Chris teleports in that one. Ignar gets a double pulverize. Slight now runs on him for the damage. FBI out one way, Ignar the other. Summoners were burnt before, but at least like a match as Xiaohu is now participating. He runs in without ulti. Ignar is slowed down, and Weibo are this deep this early on. Venius, this is chaos.
I mean, it seems like a one-sided slaughter right now.
Constructive chaos.
I mean, things are falling apart very quickly for the NRG bot lane, and they need to find a way to stabilize, because Weibo are running rampant on the map. 2k the gold lead now. First Dragon is available, but they're not going to start that one off just yet, as many members have gone back to base to spend some of their hard-earned gold.
I need to ask an earlier question, earlier than I'd normally ask. How do you stem the bleeding here this
God,
early on?
That's a great question. Well, the idea here is the Contracts is looking to relieve some of that pressure.
Right.
But the problem is Poppy is just so powerful in this early game, and Weiwei is showing you why. Not only is he so experienced on the champion, but it's a tough one, frankly. It is a very difficult thing to do. Typically, if this was a little later in the game, you could consider a lane swap, you know? When Weibo go for an early Dragon, you can then use your numbers topside to go for Herald. You can fund the Herald to get the gold back. But it's so early into the game, there's not a lot that can be done. And the fact that the jungler even came bot with a level advantage to try and stem the bleeding, and Weiwei turns it into another kill in favor of Weibo, it only just makes it worse.
When we saw the matchup versus EDG, I mean, again, it was that transition of pressure, even add on in the LNG third match playoffs, or rather, let's get the wording right, ladies and gentlemen, the third seed qualifier match got in the end. It was about Weiwei transitioning to bot, which we didn't see during playoffs, during the regular season as much. a lot more about that top side, about setting up the Shy. And so again, I guess it's a flexibility, especially in a matchup like this, Vedius, where the Shy's confident, he's fine against the Ornn here. CS is even so far with the wave pushing it.
Well, I was going to tell, when we spoke about Weibo coming into this tournament, you were kind of surprised in how they flipped their playstyle, right? Where they were playing so much towards this bot side of the map, and it was actually working very effectively for Weibo, especially with the consistency level that we actually saw from the Shy.
That consistency continues through here as Contract starts up the Dragon, but there's a control ward already there by Weibo, but Weibo's on the wrong side of the map, so nice to see that NRG, there's a bit of balance of pressure here. However, Dokla in a bit of trouble. The Shy ready to overheat, and Dokla gets out of there, while the bottom side of the map is relieved somewhat, stopping any kind of objective lead on top of what we've already got.
A small bit of reprieve for NRG. That is not a good trade for Dokla. He's taking a lot of damage. He's at threat of a dive here. Again, look at the minimap. See Weiwei making his way up. The pings have come down. Dokla needs to do what he can to thin this wave out ASAP to make it harder. But the jungler's not going to be there quite in time. Ward going to be dropped. And you look at this vision control over the top side of the map. Weibo doing a great job of just gaining information and trying to keep track of where Contracts is at all times.
And if Dokla gets forced out with the teleport down, it is danger zone for NRG on another side of the map. As Herald with this top pushed in is just going to start off quite easily. You can see, I mean, Contract clearing up this top side feels like he's trying to mitigate any further play. Take some resources off the map so Weiwei's not just getting everything.
I mean, Weibo are playing this early game fantastically right now. The thing is, now that you've got that lead, you don't need to take any more gambles, or you don't need to take any more risk. Just control the map well. You can see Chris roaming up to mid to help get that pressure so that they can easily secure these objectives, maintain vision control. The resets can now come through, spend some of that gold. The Heralds can be used kind of wherever you want. You have so many options depending on what you're looking to do with it. And slowly but surely, this gold lead continues to balloon in favor of Weibo.
Equalizer down, Dokla just steps away, but it opens up the wave again. Vedius, those were valid points. You know, you don't have to do anything, but it's Weibo we're talking about.
Yeah.
They're not going to sit back and chill.
I mean, they're they're sitting back and chilling.
For how long, though?
For how long? Well, I mean, it depends if NRG can find an opportunity to force something. Our expectations were that NRG would come in and look to scrap, because that's what they did when they were in the LCS. But given how tragic things in the bot lane have gone, saying that Weiwei.
Oh, you set it up again, don't you? Zenith Blade, but the Fate's Call gets him out. FBI, does he want to re-engage into Chris? The answer is yes, but no level 6 on this Alistar. Means he ain't a meat shield, ulting in his light right into the fray. Ignar survives for now, a little bit burnt as NRG get away with their lives.
Okay, a little bit more confidence coming into the back of the NRG bot lane. 3 versus 2 once again. Contracts has his eyes on Weiwei.
The all's there. We get the wall rather. English not going well for me, but maybe for Ignar the play can stem out as he tanks up. Weiwei chunked a little bit, trying to kite it out. There's some slow there from NRG. So close to getting that jungler with a shutdown, but he walks away.
Yeah, Contracts fumbles on the execution there, ends up knocking Chris away.
Yeah.
It could have been a big opportunity, but it ends up falling short. And NRG kind of doing what they can to bounce back after what has been a very difficult early game. But this is Weibo's game right now. Oh no!
Oh no!
All right. The Spring King returns later in the summer as now for Contracts. Hang on a minute, no way! He flashes away. Xiao, who doesn't burn his own. Come at me, he shouts, with the Herald going down as well. Yeah, that's so much gold.
Be rewarded with the plates after finding a solo kill onto Palafox. Xiao making a genius move of his own, finding that kill, and will be funneled so many plates. He's gonna get a third one. He's gonna get a third one. Xiao now out of control in the mid lane. Palafox is a level down. He's focused on clearing the wave, and Xiao is using his range to poke away at Palafox. But then the ultimate comes through. It's easy, it's clean. Palafox doesn't even flash. And then Contract's very close to losing his life as well.
Almost taken down with a flash down as well. Xiao holds onto his own. You said it yourself, that is, the plating was obliterated in the mid lane. And all of a sudden, we are close to 4,000. Let's do some proper math, ladies and gentlemen. Say 3.5 for now. But 11.5 minutes with Dragon coming up in a minute. Weibo are going to be accelerated into this first item. It's looking good for the 4th seed of the LPL. but more so, I think both these mid laners called each other geniuses. We got from the desk. Smarter today seems to be Xiaohu, at least so far.
I mean, I would also describe Xiaohu as the stabbier and the more ruthless in the mid lane so far. Looking to build out the Andrews flash.
There's a play. It's matched though. Crisp out with his summoner. However, this is getting collapsed on Weiwei. In the right place at the right time yet again. The Fate's Call though saves the day. Weibo still looking to contest. Hang on, Xiaohu's running in. He's got his flash available. No way! They went to Narnia and back again in a couple of minutes! Contract is down. Weibo cannot be stopped. It's like they've got their own personal train.
They see a kill and they will go for it to the bitter end. No escape for Contracts. His flash was lost earlier. And another is given over.
Old D Palafox is sent packing. He's got his flash available though. He's running for the hills. Chris looking for the Zenith Blade. It's out of range. At least Palafox holds onto the summoner.
They are relentless right now. Dokla being chipped away at as well. Another plate secured for Light.
All 3 lanes, Vedius.
The entire map, Hysterics. This is the debut that you wanted, I imagine. JDG looking a little skeptical in the early game against BDS, but they did come back with some fantastic team fighting. Weibo looking dominant, but Palafox TP's in.
Well, Chris is out of mana, trying to zone out Xiaohu without an ulti. It's a good time as Dragon goes down, but Weibo are looking for the re-engage somehow. They don't have the resources to play with, and Ignar knows it, but his flash isn't up and available. What can they do when Xiaohu has to flash over the wall without a Sand Soldier to give him a high five?
Weiwei Poppy. What do you do against him?
Please ban it.
This man is just, he's on fire right now. He's working so well with Chris. This jungle support combo, like I don't think I've seen Weiwei top. You know, like there was one time where he kind of went there roughly, but look at this execution. Flash away from Chris. Immediately Weiwei's like, I'm on the way, gang. Quickly there to CC Ignar into the wall. But does that stop them? No.
Look how far they go.
This is a team-building exercise. They go in together, okay? Everyone land your crowd control. Come on, let's all kill him together. There we are. Morale now raised.
It's massive. First starter for Light as well. Xiaohu can't be far off. He's got a recurve bow. He's optimized different ways, and he's not having his first item yet.
Bit of a Build-A-Bear in the mid lane.
He is. He's putting it together. Lego day at school today. As okay, thank you MasterCard for this lane economy snapshot.
Yeah, that's a snapshot, all right. Huh. I mean, Chris really kind of, you know, dragging the team down a little bit.
That's it, man. 208, stepping up.
Calls himself a world champion, am I right?
Not anymore. Look, the experience on this roster is huge. NRG we set up as well. You know, this is the team that's the first seed for a reason. But struggling here against the 4th seed ain't the biggest sign, but it is Swiss. The Shy flashes forward onto Dokla. It is matched, but he's overheating for the auto attacks. Hits once, hits twice, and Call the Forge God layers there, but he sits in the fire of Middle Earth. And the Shy, after burning that summoner, says, Dokla, go away.
Gonna force him to base. Maybe even force the TP out from him.
Maybe.
With the Herald starting. Both top laners do have that as an option. But no ultimate from Dokla means that this is going to be a hard fight.
None for the Shy either, as Weiwei sends go away too, but Contracts avoids. Smite comes down, however, but Weibo need the eye. NRG trying to zone them out, looking for the re-engage. Xiaohu on top of Ignar. And the Sand Soldiers just go, yeah.
Never underestimate Xiaohu's ability to find some way of engaging, whether it be small or large.
Told you. What can he do here? Emperor's Divide, glide, oh, Contracts! Interrupts, matches a flash, they just need a kill! NRG just need a kill and they've got it. Palafox from downtown. And NRG are finally alive.
Finally, NRG gets something back. But Weibo are relentless with their pressure. They push down mid. They secure the tier 1. The Shy can't quite get that tier 1 in the bot lane, but even though NRG at the very least finds something, the map is still in control of Weibo.
They need a bit more, but I'm happy to be optimistic about this team, especially when Palafox, bit of a king getting the kill here, but meanwhile Dokla in a bit of trouble. That turret's gonna melt, that's non-existent. Light running in with his boys, and the Shy ready to cook. I've been loving the food here in Korea, so let's see what Dokla tastes like.
Juicy, is what I believe Light said.
Yep.
300 gold picked up for him. The Shy I've often been told that he's a generous god. He doesn't need the kill.
He doesn't.
He will give it to his AD carry.
Because I mean, the right word though, so well done. No god, more like.
Yeah, wait until we see Adam versus the Shy, okay? Then we can figure out.
Don't tempt me. I'm excited for that. The boys going head to head in the top side, and you know that's what disappoints me about this is that like Dokla I think has that chat energy as well.
Oh, he does.
But the sad thing is that we didn't see it with the Ornn. We saw the Ornn picked into it, and the Shy already had the Rumble locked in by B2, B3.
Yeah, he did. You know, Dokla wanted to play, he wanted to be on the weak side, he wanted to give Contracts that agency to play through bot, but the bot lane 2v2, it was shut down at level 2, man.
Level 1, Petty.
Well, level 1, you can even go to say. Weiwei once again finding his way into the enemy jungle. Herald dropped. I'm sorry, you guys have probably made those Wei jokes to death.
Well, there's big Wei in the LPL. There's also single Wei, you know, RNG's Wei in the past. Yeah. I'm just waiting for No Way to come through as
oh, he's in EU.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, waiting for it to join the LPL. As Herald gets a double charge, mid is open. And NRG losing out by gold by the thousands every minute we go by. As it's an easy dragon setup right now for WBG as they move towards the objective.
Blue buff going to be transitioned over to Xiaohu. What else is there to say here? Weibo should look to pick up this dragon uncontested. I guess they're waiting for the Baron before they try and end this game. But it feels like that this is Weibo's to lose.
Yeah.
You just kind of look at how the comps work, and Weibo's is just so straightforward. You know, they do have a lot of range and poke, but they're not going to use it like that. This is all about diving. They're going to have Crisp engage. They're going to have Weiwei try and find the flank. The Rumble ultimate's going to come down. What am I saying? Xiaohu is going to E in, he's going to ult, and then the wombo combo. Using the ult, Weiwei will CC someone into it, and then the dive will follow up.
The Shy will flash auto overheated versus 3 people.
He will be chasing FBI, who is kiting him backwards. That's how this fight is going to play out.
You know what's crazy about this game is I think it's the first time in a while that people haven't set a tent up top for the Shy. You know, there's very few games I can say, even throughout this whole year, where people have not sent 2, 3 members up to deal with the Shy.
No.
But he had a free lane. I guess, yeah, the whole map's burning. And the Shy, of course, is saying this is fine because he's outside watching the fire. He doesn't have to care.
Weiwei has brought the hammer to bot lane.
Oh, yeah.
And he has just kept the pressure up. Baron, 30 seconds. Now, how confident are you in Weibo's Baron setup and secure? Confident, huh?
Sorry, ask me the question again.
How confident are you in Weibo's Baron setup and secure?
100%. 100%.
All right. It's a lot of confidence, Asterix.
Yeah, sorry.
Let's see. It's spawning in 10 seconds.
They're not the cleanest team. That's the problem. They can throw leads.
That's looking very clean so far.
It is. But I won't
but you're
say
just
anything.
waiting. You're just waiting.
Yeah, that's right.
No spoilers.
I'm not a doubter. I think sometimes I'm just realistic.
If anything, I would say you're a realist.
I am a realist, yeah.
How many years have you been casting the Shy?
Since 2019 spring, which was his best year, by the way, best split. That was an insane one alongside Rookie. Semi-finals at Worlds, remember? Against FPXs. We'll pause on that. This is what's happening now. Look at the lines of scrimmage laid down, but the Shy's not dead. They don't have enough damage. Dokla knocks him up. They're trying. Equalizer down. Maybe they do. They do indeed. But Baron goes down because of him. So there's the trade as Palafox now the next target. Flashes away to the skies to get him out of there. And that's what it costs to kill the Shy. Everything, the kitchen sink, the front door, all the new kitchenette and the fridge, Vedius, for the cost of Baron.
The question is, for you as of the Shy follower, would you say that this is worth it? His life for a Baron? A meager Baron?
No, you know what I'd say?
What?
Impressive.
NRG, they're able to find that pick. They bring the kill score up to 2, but they still find themselves at a colossal deficit. Contracts. Really good idea here.
Yeah.
A good flash response from the Shy. And just great awareness. Like, Dokla used his W on the wave, thinking this play wasn't going to continue. But now Contracts, no flash.
The Shield of Daybreak lands. NRG are there to back up, but Chris is Leona taking up as see you later. Weiwei sends Ignar packing as the flash over to bring Contracts back on in. They used everything in the last play. Xiaohu gets one from FBI on the side as well, but as Contracts drops down, Xiaohu buys some time and sets up for kill number 2. Who's it going to be? Ignar. He's got his flash available, but a blast cone to help him out. As Weibo trying to get some stuff done, well, at least Palafox is getting a trade, but what is the cost on the other side of the map? Wait, Weiwei's still here.
Weiwei knows that this jungle belongs to him. He's going to force NRG completely out of it. They're going to have to walk back to base as they group up top and push towards this tier 2. The Jace, after securing a mid-tier 1, getting a bit of gold back for NRG, will now recall as they find themselves with an 8k gold deficit. From start to finish, a clean performance from Weibo.
Yep.
And Weiwei just being instrumental in how this team has just been dominating.
Well, as we look back at this, Chris takes so long to die, and it's a full commit after the play we saw before where NRG threw everything.
The hilarious thing is, look, he actually gets dragged back by the Fate's call, so even though he gets yeeted off, maybe NRG can find a fight, but the positioning is just too awkward. Xiaohu, you've already talked so much about it. He sees a 3-man engage, he goes for it, forces the flash out from FBI, knowing that his team is right behind him. And unfortunately for NRG, they constantly find themselves on the back foot. Baron still 35 seconds left, Dragon spawning in 45. Weibo will use this pressure to secure their 3rd Dragon of the game. Red
Bull Baron power play at 3k for Weibo. They're already in a gold advantage, but it moves to 8,000 as spoken before. Thank you for that win probability powered by AWS.
It's looking pretty positive.
It looks almost 100%, but we know no game can be 100%. Okay, no game.
If anything, it looks like that towards the end it tapered down a little bit.
Ooh.
When the Shy died, the game knew.
They probably went down 50% or something. Well, it's going to take a lot more than that. 10 seconds again as the Shy, no teleport available. Dokla does have it with the Ram Jam available as well. So you can potentially pick that angle for NRG, but it's grasping at straws as Weibo have full vision control in this enemy side of the jungle. And that Dragon is as good as theirs to lead some Mountain Soul Pick'ems people into a happy place.
That it does.
I gotta say, Vedius, I'm one of the few people that picked Mountain, yeah.
I was Ocean, I think.
Wow, I think were you doing the worst?
Hey.
At some point.
I would say that I'm trying the best.
Oh, okay, yeah, right. I mean, I'm the real fool for not picking Cloud in Korea, okay?
Yeah,
everyone knows it's Cloud's sole domain.
Yeah, who would pick Cloud?
Probably all the LCK guys.
Now, this is normally the part where I'd be like, here's how NRG can come back into the game.
Say it. There's always a way. Optimism.
I mean, Weibo would have to do something very Weibo, which I feel is quite unlikely at this point.
Yeah, maybe.
Just don't hesitate. You know that, like, they're not going to lose this game. You
Probably
look
not.
I feel like I'm trying to get blood from a stone right now. You're like, I don't know, man. It's kind of like when I was casting the G2 game and you're like, surely, man. And I'm like,
I don't know. They're up there at the Nexus. You're like, I'm just going to wait till it's over. But look, I mean, again, very different. I feel like Weibo as the 4th seed for a reason. However, to be realistic with your point, you know, again, up 9,000, they've got the whole map. We're talking to Dead Horse here about how Weibo are in control, but I want to point your attention towards the most obvious fact. It's been obvious all game long, thanks to Weiwei. Look at the bottom side of the map. 3 items versus 1 and a bit. Yep. That is a budget Winsu's Rage Blade that you know, picked off a side store down the road.
Yeah. Light is 2 full levels over FBI as well. Palafox has been doing his best to keep up in experience, but the Shy now ticking over to level 16. That's going to be a max level ultimate as well.
Yep.
If NRG aren't squishy, he's going to make them look like it.
Oh, yeah.
Baron spawns in 35 seconds. They're going to get deep vision. They're going to push in these waves, and they're going to look to secure it. Likely they can do it with just Light and Weiwei. They can use Xiaohu. They can put him behind the wall, and with his range, he can chip away at it while he zones away the rest of NRG. They have so many tools, so many easy ways to play this. They've actually sent Xiaohu down bot to keep that pressure up. He has the TP to join the fight. A lot of options. All Weibo need to be is patient.
Yep. And just wait. But I also want to point out, you know, much of the success of this team, Crisp having a really good game to open up Swiss here. And his ward score is actually impressive. You know, 26 minutes into the game, 103. That is insane.
Yeah.
I know there's been a lot of wards to clear, but still, that's like every second of your life is spent to getting rid of these things stuck in the ground on Summoner's Rift.
Right now, NRG do have a bit of vision on this top side. They want to try and contest. Doklo's been sent to try and answer Xiaohu.
Well, they'll try at least. Solar Flare lands, though. Look at the equalizer. The carpet's laid down as the Fates call gets him out. Contract! Oh! He has to flash. Palafox covered, but it didn't matter. That threat from long range is too much to bear as the Shy waits for them to reconvene.
It was literally just an ultimate from the Shy. You just single-handedly forced NRG back. And that will be the Baron. A dominant performance from the entirety of Weibo. And now with this Baron, they can look to end it right here, right now. Maybe they want to wait for the Dragon Soul. I really don't think they need to. With the gold lead they have, with the power that they have, I think they should just look to end it.
Bumalik si Xiaohu.
And, try and end NRG's suffering.
Yeah, because NRG not hitting expectations today, but at least trying to get towards this Baron to no success as Chris starts this off with a big Solar Flare.
So we see the ultimate come down. It applies the slow.
Yuck.
Followed up with the Shy's ultimate.
Oh.
And then Palaflux box it, but Contracts, he reacts a little too quick. Doklo tries to look for a knockup, won't be able to find it. Weibo pressuring in bot lane. Using this wave, they should be able to crack the base open. Dragon in 35.
Well, this is the pick, though. They get the Shy's flash, call the Forge God. There's the Weaver's wall. Contracts not getting the shove back, though. The Shy walk it out as Weibo like, all right, you want to go for our top laner. We're going to try and end the game. There's the equalizer to stop 3, 4 backs, really. Solar Flare as well. Another backstop. Hang on a minute. Weibo are just ending the game with the Baron up minions. The Shy's done his job. NRG are going to find a pick onto Chris, but as Dokler gets back, he's shattered as well. Ulti's a little early from Xiao, but Palafox gets burned down nonetheless. With their debut at Worlds, Weibo are tearing apart North America. Piece by piece by piece. Weibo in under 30 minutes are destroying the first seed of NA. I'm sorry to the LCS, but WBG might be the 4th seed, but they are here to play.
A dominant performance from Weibo from start to finish. And it did not take them long to start. Level 1 in the 2 versus 2. Getting the summoners out from FBI. Quickly followed up by a dive. Just well executed across the board. A clean, straightforward performance. And Weibo will have the opportunity to join some of the top dogs at the tournament.